What's up, guys? This is Ray, and today we'll be talking about the 2019 Japanese movie Final Fantasy XIV Dead of Light, directed by Noguchi Teruo and starring Sakaguchi Kentaro and Yoshida Kotaro. But before we dive into this review, if you guys are new to Eiga-Man Ray, I upload reviews of Japanese movies every chance that I get. So if you're new to the channel and you dig the content, feel free to support this channel by checking out other videos featured here and also by subscribing. But now on to the review. Now, Final Fantasy XIV Dead of Light, it's actually based on a true story from what I understand. It's a very interesting true story, and actually the story was also adapted previously a few years earlier, a couple years earlier. You can find it on Netflix. It's an 8-episode drama starring Chiba Yudai and Osugi Ren as the main son and father, with Sakaguchi Kentaro and Yoshida Kotaro playing this movie. So obviously the two works are not related as far as continuity is concerned, just the characters are more or less the same. There's a few differences, like in the movie version there's a sister, whereas an original Netflix story didn't. You know, the sister's played by Yamamoto Maika. You even have a few characters popping up in the workplace of the son Akio in the movie. And even Akio's job here is a lot different than, completely different than what he had in the TV drama. But I did watch the TV drama shortly after checking out the movie because I absolutely loved this movie. And I'll get to the reasons why in a bit. But to be honest, like I'm assuming that a lot more of the true events are displayed in a more, truer fashion in the TV drama than the movie, and I assume that a lot of the details in the movie were more dramatized so it can be enjoyed as a movie, but I genuinely enjoyed the movie more than the Netflix series. Netflix series had its own kind of feeling, its own heart. Like, I didn't really dig Chiba Yudai in the lead character. I love Osugi Ren, so he was a great part of the TV drama, but both lead performers in the movie were fantastic. So the story of Final Fantasy XIV Dead of Light, it's about this dude by the name of Akio. And he, as you can tell, he plays Final Fantasy XIV. He plays almost every day. And he doesn't have the best relationship with his dad. Like, they were really close when Akio was younger. Like, he has fond memories of them playing old school Final Fantasy back on this Famicom together. And that's when, the years since then, their relationship just kind of deteriorated. They're pretty distant. And so one day, Akio's dad retires suddenly. He's a big workaholic, but he just kind of retires without really a reason why. And kind of just in order to repair the relationship between Akio and his dad, because they're living in the same house, he basically enacts this mission, the Dead of Light mission, where he gets a PlayStation 4 with Final Fantasy XIV, and he gets his dad to start playing, and it's through the game that Akio would play with the dad, help him out in all these quests and stuff, and through the game, rebuild their relationship without revealing his true identity. So that's the basis of this movie. And I want to count this as a video game movie. It's not a video game adaptation, which of which the genre usually takes a lot of heat for just producing not many good movies. But this is a movie based around a video game. And I gotta say, this is one of the best video game related movies I have ever seen. This movie had a lot of heart. The two main characters were absolutely lovable. Sakaguchi Kentaro, full of charisma, is whenever he's on screen in this movie, not just this movie, a lot of his other roles too in previous movies. He just has a lot of charisma. You just can't help but love the dude, just the way he smiles. He's a charming guy. And Yoshida Kotaro, he's been getting really popular recently because not just movies, but TV dramas. So if you guys ever seen All Sans Love, I've seen Yoshida Kotaro here and there in other works before All Sans Love and before Dead of Light. But I think he's been on the rise in popularity recently. You could correct me if I'm wrong. I just kind of started noticing him in the past, 5 years or so. But he is really good in this movie too. I mean, everything from the way he plays the game, like he plays it like he's never held a game controller. He holds it right here. Doesn't really know what he's doing. He kind of moves along with the game. You know how a lot of old folks play video games like that? That's what Akio's dad does in this movie, and it's adorable to watch. And because Akio's dad isn't the best with words, he doesn't really have the best interaction skills when talking to his family members. When he actually has to go up and talk to Akio regarding help or questions about in-game content, it's fun, it's cute, and just the way you see the relationship go from how it develops from the start of the movie to where it ends up in the finish, like it's a really good story of a relationship between a father and a son. And there were a lot of cutscenes, specially made, I'm assuming specially made for this movie. Like it uses a lot of in-game graphics from Final Fantasy XIV, but custom made animations just to tell the cutscenes, if you will, of this movie. So that way, whenever the characters are playing the game, you actually see their avatars acting what they would do, what they would emote on screen, as well as having voice actors portray their avatars as they're communicating with each other. And it's interesting the way it cuts back and forth, because when they're in the game, they're moving around, they're talking. Obviously you can tell there's a controller behind the movement of the characters. That's part of the charm of the story. But then, they're talking with the real voice actors voicing the dialogue. But then when you actually cut into the real world and you see them playing on, behind a TV, a computer screen or a TV, you actually see them typing words, and just the way they, and the way they look, the way they act when they're interacting via the game, everything is just really nice. And of course, the music used in this movie are lifted straight from the games. Like I don't play Final Fantasy XIV. I played pretty much every other Final Fantasy to date, and just hearing the music just ignites waves of nostalgia in me. I just love the music of Final Fantasy, and it's in this movie in spades. And when it comes to the heart of the story, first of all, the journeys that these characters have to go through. You have Akio, who wants to rekindle his relationship with his pops, and it's a great and touching story. And then you have the pops not only trying to rebuild his relationship with his son Akio, but to his whole family. And you see in the way that he interacts with the daughter, who's also alienated from the dad, and even the way the dad interacts with the mom, especially when mom gets mad at him for hogging the TV every day, all day, and the way they fight over the controllers. It's hilarious. I think anyone who's had an SO, who doesn't want them playing any games, and is also, a victim of you taking up all the TV time because of the games, will feel exactly the kind of fights, if you will, that mom and dad go through. When it comes to the negatives of Dad of Light, nothing. I loved this movie from minute one. It had a lot of heart. It had all the nostalgia that catered to folks like me. Even if I've never played Final Fantasy XIV, don't think I plan on doing so. But this movie didn't try to go into too deep in detail regarding any of the game mechanics or anything like that. It did a good job at presenting it in a way that anyone can just jump in and enjoy this movie as it's a standalone piece. Do I recommend this movie to watch? Yes, I do. If you like family dramas, if you like movies that are based or inspired by video games, this movie has it all. But anyways, yes, those are my thoughts on Final Fantasy XIV Dad of Light. What do you guys think? Please let me know in the comment section below. And also let me know if you like the TV drama or the movie better. I personally like the movie, as I said earlier, but I'm curious to hear what you guys have to say. And don't forget to leave a like, share, and subscribe. Follow me on all the social media channels. And if you want to support Eiga-Man Ray, feel free to check out other videos here and also subscribe. And that's about it for me, guys. And as always, everyone, thank you so much for watching, and hope to catch you all again in the next video. Take it easy.